Hey, good morning, everybody. It's me, old fart. Just leaving the shop here. A few minutes after 7. Grinding some chains. And hey, I put a Ryan put a video up on the other crew there. Dan and Ryan and Butch are working on that Tyrone project, that reservoir. And anyway, so I got a couple questions there. Or Nellie, I think Nellie wanted to know why. Nellie Stout wanted to know why there was somebody else. I just figured the more the merrier. I don't care. I mean, I'm all for it. And guys, I can't be down there videoing them. And Ryan's really pretty tech savvy. Actually, he's the one who did the drone stuff, and he's pretty. Well, he's young. You know what I mean? I'm an old fart. This high tech crap. I can't figure it all out, but I'm trying. But anyway, so that's why I told him make videos and put them up there, because that's he does a good job on them. He does this nice way of explaining it, the whole nine, So, but that's that project we're into. We're gonna get that road built, widened and tipped into the bank, and a couple of cuts and fills so we get the tractor trailers up in there. It's really nice stone there, so I don't think we're gonna have to haul in any stone. It's just gonna be a matter of moving. We've got a lot of stuff to move, But so we're thinking it's probably gonna be 3-4 days. We'll get that road ready to rock and roll. So they're taking the loader and the cutter up and the skidder, and they're just gonna get the tractor trailer, the tractor under the loader, and get the road crude enough so we can get it up in there, and then push them with the skidder. If they can't do that, they can drag it with the skidder and push it with the dozer. We'll get it up in there, so them guys can start. Ryan and Butchie can start decking wood. And when the road's open, we can hit it hard at the beginning of the week and start hauling. So that's the plan. You know how that goes. Plan in one hand and poop in the other, and see which fills up quicker, right? Yeah. Anyway, next question or thing I wanted to comment on. Really good question. XMO driver and NJ Blanchard. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and subscribing and all that fun stuff. And thanks for the good questions. What they asked me is how come, basically, especially on that Tyrone job, but on any of these jobs, don't I have a market for the tops to grind up for hog fuel or boiler fuel or blah blah? Well, it's kind of a long story. I'll be as brief as I can. If I had a market, I would have a chipper here tomorrow. I should say if I had a viable market, because I'm not going to run a chipper for nothing. And from what I've checked into, I've been trying to do this for 6 or 7 years, trying to get into the chipping end of it. More so just the fuel chips, for energy chips or pellet production or blah blah, Well, where I am, there just is not a very good spot to do that. The bigger chip plants do buy some hog fuel, dirty chips, but they're pretty much, they've got enough people to cover that. Their chip producers are keeping them happy. So the price sucks. One viable, I guess it would be viable, they take a lot of product. From what I understand, and I talked to them 4 or 5 years ago trying to develop a market, would be Akron Thermal out in Akron, Ohio. So I'm about 75 miles east of the Ohio state line, and they're into Ohio. I don't know, Akron's probably another 45 or 50 miles. So I'm probably looking at 100, 125, 130 mile haul or something like that. And when I looked into this 4 or 5 years ago, they were paying $21 a ton for dirty, fuel chips. And I mean, that doesn't even cover the trucking on that distance. I mean, so I just don't see where it's viable. I would love to have, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get a drum chipper, because I have lots of roundwood markets. So we were just going to get a drum chipper and get like 1 or 2 vans and blow just the tops, because most of the jobs we're dragging all the tops, deliming them, they fall in a pile off the delimber, we grab them again and take them back in and pile them and spread them around or use them in the road, whatever. So yes, it would be very awesome if I had a dirty chip market. That's exactly what I was trying to develop for many years, but you just can't get enough money out of them to even cover, basically even cover the hauling, is all you're going to get out of it. And I mean, clean paper chips require a lot more investment. You can pick up a drum chipper, a decent little, you know, drum chipper, little chip tops, you know, whatever, you know, 300-400 horse machine or something like that, you know. You can pick one of them up for a new one for maybe $250,000, right? And all you got to do is just blow it through and go, you know, into the van and away you go. But if you want to start doing clean chips like the paper, like Chipper Guy, you know, John Britton and them are doing, you need to make, you need a flail debarker, okay? Either a machine with a flail in it or a separate flail to run the wood through. You need to make clean chips. You can't have a lot of content of dirt and not dirt but bark, you know, dirt too, but bark, leaves, sticks, twigs. You can't have that in it. They only allow you a few percent per load. I don't know exactly what the, you know, what the exact numbers are, but you have to have clean chips. So in order to do that, I mean, to get any decent equipment, you're probably looking at $500,000 just to get set up. Now, I got all hay rack wagons, like what they call hay racks, or, you know, log trailers, pulp trailers. If I start doing chips, I gotta buy a whole fleet of trailers, okay? So, it's a big investment, which I wouldn't be opposed to doing if I had a market, if I had what I would call a profitable market. But from what I've researched in the last, you know, 7 or 8 years, I've been really, I kind of gave up on it in the last few years, because it's like, until something happens or things change, I'm not going to bother, you know, investing in all that money. But until things change, I can't seem to get any more than maybe $10 more a ton than my roundwood prices out of chips. Now that might be a little different now because roundwood's dropped way off and everything's dropped off. So that ratio is still probably in that range. Well, for $10 a ton, I'm not. That's all you're doing is handling it and wearing out a chipper. You know, I mean, if maybe if it was 15 or 18 or 17 or something, you could say, hey, yeah, it cost me 10 or 11 to chip it, and I'm making $4 or $5 profit a ton or 100 a load or something. Yeah, I would think of that. I would consider that. And that's why we were looking more into the fuel chip end of it, because the fuel chip was less money because you're making a dirty product, a fuel product, you know, but it was a heck of a lot less money to, you know, to produce them too, and you didn't have to worry about flail and all that. Another aspect to think about is, like, our landings, even when we're delimbing, like on this log job I'm doing in Sligo, Pennsylvania, you know, we're leaving the tops all in the woods. On a lot of what Danny's doing, he'll mow the bigger tops out. If we're doing pole production, we'll just leave them on and pull them out, run them through the delimber, like you've seen me do on many jobs. So that stuff's all dropping off in a pile at the delimber. Now, yes, it would be nice if I could just drag them over and stuff them through a drum chipper and make something off of them, okay? Because it's like an absolute byproduct. So, but if you did that with a drum chipper, you'd grind all that crap up and it'd be gone. However, if you put a flail, okay, a whole tree flail and a chipper on there, like Chipper Guy's doing, you create another whole ball of wax. And here's what it is. The flail chains beat all of those small limbs, the bark, you know, when you get down into smaller limbs, like under a couple inches, you know, it just smashes and shreds them into bits and pieces and spits them out a chaff conveyor, right? To keep the chips clean, to keep that crap out of the chips. Well, here's the problem. What do you do with all that shit? You get a mountain of that stuff. You got to keep pushing it away from the chipper. You know, you really need like some kind of a basket on your skidder, you know, like a rake of some sort to be able to push that crap. And then you also have to do something with it. You can't leave a landing with a mountain of this crap on it. And believe me, you ask these guys, you know, ask John, he'll tell you. I mean, you know, they make a mountain of this stuff in a very short amount of time. Now, it's beautiful mulch and all that, but here's the deal. Now, what do? You go on a job, you know, 100-acre job, and you've got, you know, literally thousands and thousands and thousands of yards of this mulch material now to clean up. So what do you do with it? You can't just haul it off. You can't really haul it back in the woods like you can brush, unless you've got really specially equipped skidders that can, like, grab baskets full of this crap, right? So what a lot of guys will do is now they'll go buy a tub grinder, okay, or a horizontal grinder, and they'll get into the mulch business. Well, there's another $500,000. You know what I mean? So I just don't see, I don't know, I just don't see it being worth the investment in this stuff to take it to that extent. I mean, it would be nice to utilize it, but you got to make money. You can't just buy this insane equipment and, you know, not make a profit with it. I don't see any profit in it, is what I'm getting at. By the time you buy the fuel, you know, you're looking at, you know, I don't know, got hundreds of gallons of fuel a day in each machine. You know, these big chippers, my gosh, they'll run 300-400 gallons a day in fuel. And I don't know, I haven't come up with a viable solution for that. I would like to. My ideal situation for what we do, because of the round wood orders and the round, like right now the pulp's, it's picking up a little bit, but usually we can't get we can't cut enough wood to get rid of it all. I mean, you know, usually in a normal market, our markets are really good. So taking that into consideration when I start thinking about, all right, I gotta change my whole operation to do chips, and then the chip guys, I mean, in this downturn, a lot of those guys got shut off and quoted down to nothing. Can you survive? Can you pay the payments on this big massive stuff and not use it? I don't know. So that's my story on that. I got some pretty good questions. I appreciate the questions. But that's why we don't do that yet. And on the environmental side of it, I mean, there's always been an argument about sanitizing the woods too much, you know. That brush and stuff, like when we're done with it, I mean, it rots down so fast. Literally in a couple of years, it's, you know, matted down to nothing. But it does put nitrogen as it decays. It puts nitrogen back into the soil. You know, basically fertilizer. You know, it's mulch. I mean, what do we put on, like if you scratch up a patch of dirt and put grass seed down, what do? You sprinkle it with straw or hay, right? To break the rain up as it hits. Well, cripes, there's nothing better than brush to do that. So it does help with erosion and, you know, stopping stuff from wash. If you get a muddy area, you know, you're starting to sink in with the machine, you just corduroy it with that, and I mean, you can run a lot before it even starts to sink. There's a lot of advantage to it. And then on the landings, you know, we can grab a bundle of that stuff and kind of push it up in a pile, and because it's brush, you know, you can grab a big massive mound of that crap with the skidders and clean your landings up, you know. And then we have brush rakes when we're done, you know, finish raking up a few piles, drag them in the woods, and you're back to your original dirt, you know, and you can mulch and seed your landing. So that's why we haven't, there's a lot of steps. It isn't just, oh, let's get a chipper and go chipping. Well, there's a lot to think about, you know, and I have thought about it. And but anyway, that's my big long colluded answer for you. So all right, thanks guys, and I'll try and get some kind of a good video here today. So I put a few up, just little tidbits I had on my GoPro. So hey guys, oh, Alex is here, by the way. They're moving their stuff into the mobile home. We've got a mobile home on the property. They're just gonna stay there and save up. If they like it here, they can save up and get a house or a rental, whatever. But it's yeah, it's a decent little, it's like a, we kind of use it now for logging camp when the guys, hunting camp when the guys come in. But it's livable. It's warm and dry, and you know, so cool beans. I got a cool neighbor. So anyway, we'll keep you posted on that. They're moving the rest of their furniture and stuff in today, so and then he'll be at it. We'll be out making some wood fly. Thanks, guys. Ta-ta. Have a wonderful day and a good weekend.